In this video I'm going to show you how to put images onto your web page. Now there's a tag in HTML that you can use to work with images, and that's the img tag. So it looks something like this, img, and it's a self-closing tag, so you wouldn't have an end tag to this. So image. Now you want to also to put the image inside the web page. You need to indicate where that image is. So on a website you would have usually a server, a folder on that server that would contain the images and the videos and things like that. So in that case you would have to specify the path to that image or that video or that media source to tell the browser where to look for that image. So in order to do that, we use the source attribute, which is src. Okay, src, and here I'm going to specify the source. Now there's two ways to do this. One way, of course, something, by the way, let me just tell you before I continue, is that when you want to include images in your site, that image must be located in that same folder your HTML page or HTML file is located. It has to be in that same folder, and if it's not, then you want to put in the full path of the file of that image in here. So this is my path up here. Now this is my file path. Okay, now if I were to just go, let me just first duplicate this. Okay, now I'm going to show you the path. So if I go into desktop on my PC, my image is right over here, hqdefault.web. Okay, so this is my image and this is my HTML file, index.html. So I just specified the name of that image file, so I can just copy it here and I paste it into there. Okay, so now if I refresh this, you can see I have the image there. So that's just how you put the image. But if, say, that image wasn't in that folder, it was maybe somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to now copy this somewhere. Okay, so copy. So if I refresh this, you can see that there's a new folder called file here. So I'm just going to move this into that. Now if I refresh, you can see that it's no longer there, but if I go into the file folder, you can see here's my image. It's because I moved it in there. So the point is that it's not where my index.html file is located, it's in another directory. So if I go back over here and I refresh the page, you can see that it's giving me an error. Okay, it's showing me that this is, there's supposed to be an image there, but we don't know, there's something wrong. Maybe it's a broken link or something, so we cannot access that image. So I'm using Firefox, but if you use Chrome or some other browser, then you will see this icon look a bit different. It's going to be looking a bit green. So just good practice, we use a tag called alt. This shows you that if somehow or for whatever reason the image is not displaying on the page, you want to show some alternate text to display what the image is about. So I will use the alt tag, and here I'm going to say a thumbnail, because that picture was a thumbnail from my other video. So thumbnail. Alright, so if I do that, you can see that the picture is not displaying, but alternatively the thumbnail text is displaying. Now this alt text is good because of a number of reasons. Actually there's two reasons. One reason is it would show you this text instead of the image if something goes wrong with the image. And the next reason is, even if something doesn't go wrong with the image, then it would help screen readers. Okay, so people who have visual problems, they usually use this facility, the text to speech or a screen reader, then it reads the text to them. Now the alt tag will help you in that it in the screen readers they would read the text in the alt tag, because I mean obviously the person cannot see the picture, so he wants to also know what is that picture about. So you can maybe say a picture of a thumbnail here, and that's just going to be read by the screen reader. Picture of thumbnail. I'm just going to say pic of thumbnail to make it a bit quick, but yeah. Now coming to the solution of the problem. Why do you how do you access the image if it's inside of another folder? Well, you just go to that file or that folder, you know, and go to the image where it is stored, and you look for the path. Okay, so open link, no, not open link. So you come over here, this is the path, you copy that path and you put it behind this image. Now I save that and I'm going to run it, and you can see that our image is back. Okay, now the other thing about the image tag is that you can specify how big your image gets by using attributes like height, so height and width. So I'm going to say the width is I don't know what's the ratio to this. By the way, if before you specify the width, you want to have a look at the metadata of the image. Okay, you want to know how much the size is in pixels, and then you want to adjust the height and the width according to that ratio. So this seems to me like it's a 2:1 image, so the width should be almost double the height. So I'm just going to say this is 2. I'm going to say 500 pixels for the width, and the height would be, I don't think you need to specify the pixels part. Okay, I'm going to make this 250, and let's see what changes that brings. Okay, it made it bigger, but if I made it 150 and 300, then you can see it made it smaller. And I can make all kinds of funny sizes like this even, and I can also specify sizes in percentage. So I can say 50%. Now that's going to take 50% of the height. So the height is from here up down, like from the entire viewport. Okay, so that's 50% of the viewport. If I want to take 50% of, or maybe 30% of the width, then I can just say 30%, and you can see it looks like that. So you can use different units. You can use pixels, you can use maybe even centimeters. I'm not sure you can, but this is dynamic. Okay, meaning that if you adjust the browser size, the screen size, like you do maybe, you know, you're running on a phone, then this percentage would be helpful, because it's a relative sizing, it's not absolute. Unlike if I were to do that, then it's gonna remain 50 pixels and 30 pixels on all the devices across my web page, or on my all the devices that I have. The picture will look exactly the same size if you use a ruler and you measure the size. So that's just the image element.